Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Grace O'Shea. If you're just coming here for the first time, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, comment, and of course share. In this video, we have a guest, a very lovely guest, someone who is my friend. She was the best graduating student of her department, Medical Laboratory Science, and also the best graduating student at the 35th and 36th convocation ceremony of University of Calabar. Her name is Kamsi Olivia Moka. And welcome my guest, Kamsi. So Kamsi, thank you very much for being my guest. Thank you very much for deciding to come do this with me. Thank you. So yes, Kamsi, could you tell us a little about yourself?
Okay, so hi guys, my name is Olivia Kamsi Moka. I prefer to be called Kamsi. I'm 22 years old. 22 years old and maybe 6 months. I'll be 22 years old and 7 months. Yes, so I'll be 23 by October. I'm a medical lab scientist. And like she said, I was the best graduate student at the University of Calabar, 35th and 36th convocation ceremony. What else? I like ice creams. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was nice. So about your age, you're 22, like you just said.
Yeah.
Please tell the viewers, how are you 22, a graduate, a BGS, and have finished your internship?
Okay, so I started school really early. I started school when I was 15 years. That's when I gained admission. And because I happened to have my birthday in October, which is usually towards the end of the year, so most of my age mates would have clocked their recent age. So yeah, I gained admission in 2015. We started in 2016. So I was 15 years starting in 2016. So if you do the maths,
yeah.
Now just know that any year we are, that's my birthday. So we're in 2023. I'll be 23 years by October.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. After the convocation ceremony and everything, you announced as the BGS. You know, a lot of blogs carried the fact that you were the BGS. I saw a lot of posts on Instagram. I saw a lot of posts, even Facebook, a lot of blogs, Calabar blog and all that. So I want to ask you, how did you feel? Because I went through some of the comments. What I read, I was like, if it was me, I would have felt really bad. People were like, it's not true, she's faked her age. Because there was a blog that actually said you were 24, and then somebody was like, it's not possible, how can she be 22 and it's a BGS, blah blah blah, you know. How did you feel? And is it really possible that you graduated from school well, nicely, and without all the comments, terrible comments I saw?
Okay, so it's not just one blog. Like, about almost all the blogs that carried the news, I don't know where they got my age from. Nobody asked me my age in any of my interview. I just went online, I saw meet 24 years old Kamsi, and then I'm like, how do people add to it 2 more years to my year? To my years. So yeah, I'm 22. I don't know how else to convince people, but my birth certificate is there. So I'm 22 years. I was born in 2000. I just happened to start school early and finish school early. And for the other comments, yeah, there were lots of comments. I read a lot of them, and some persons were also saying, oh, she must have slept with the lecturers, she must have done this,
yeah,
have graduated from a federal school by this age.
I saw a lot of that really terrible comments.
So there's one that said that his girl is still in that same school and they refused to graduate her because she refused to bend to the rules. So for me to have graduated,
that means you bent
to the rules. I don't know the rules it's talking about, but I just feel there's a lot of people just they give their own opinion on whatever they think it's what they think is
Yeah.
true. So different people have their different opinions, and they are very okay to have their opinion. But the truth still remains that you can actually go to university and graduate when you do. There's the ASU factor and all of that. But about the sorting and having to bend to the rules, I think it's subjective. If you want to bend to the rules, you
You
bend.
would.
If you don't want to bend to the rules, in my own experience, nobody had to force me to bend to the rules. So I had the option to choose to either bend or not. And I did not I did not bend to the rules. Yeah, so yeah, it's really very possible.
It's nice. That was really nice. Okay, so tell us about your journey. This where you are right now. Did you see it coming? Like, what was your motivation? How did you get here? Did you plan before that? Okay, I was going to be the BGS, or it just happened? Like, tell us about your journey.
Okay, so was it planned? I don't know if I'll say planned, but yes, it was a goal I've always had. So when I gained admission, I wanted to do medicine, but I could not get admission into medicine. So when I gained admission into medical lab science, it was not something I wanted in the first instance. But then I went up to read about the course, because at that time, that was like the first time I was hearing about the course.
Me
so
too.
I had to go and read about it, and then I saw, okay, oh, this is something that I would like to do. I would also be involved in patient treatment and diagnosis. So because of that, I was like, okay, I would start the course, and if I'm going to do this course, then I would like to graduate best and all of that. So yeah, so when I came into the university in my year one, I wrote. Okay, and prior to that, my cousin had always told me about how I could get scholarships if I graduated with a first class, and how there are opportunities if you graduate with a first class. So when I came in, I did not plan to be the BGS in the whole school. My goal was just to have a first class, yeah.
So that you could have greater opportunities,
yes,
if
for
any.
better opportunities. And I remember I wrote it on a book, and I pasted it on a wall in my room.
Wow.
And then, because I read it from a book, so there was a book about how you have to make a mental picture of what you want to be, and how looking at it every day will reinforce your goals and all of that. So that was what prompted me to do that. And when I did
it kept you going.
yeah,
you know?
it kept reminding me every morning when I look at it. Okay, I'm reminded. Oh, if you want to sleep, when I look at it and I want to sleep, I'll remember. Oh, you said you want to graduate in first class. So yeah, and I remember when I did that, my roommates were laughing at me. My then roommates in the year one, most of them were in 200 level, 300 level. So they had entered the system. So they were like, oh, this one, she just they come, but this is the
JJC.
So
you never know.
when they now come F, she goes, everybody that like they made many comments, and maybe it was based on their own experience too. So that was just the motivation. And what other thing did you say again?
Okay, like you have answered if you planned it, and then your motivation.
Yeah, it was planned, but then being the BGS of the whole school was not
Just
something
happened.
I saw coming. It was just something that I was even surprised when I got the call that, oh, you're going to be the BGS, prepare your valedictory speech, because in the past years, most of the persons that had been BGS had really high CGPAs of 4.8 something. Okay, I also read about some that had 4.7, but I just felt because the previous year, the year before the BGS had 4.8, so I just felt it would follow that line. But then it happened that they called me, and I think the overall performance in the two convocation was not really so nice.
Yeah.
They had just 11 first class students for two sets, two graduating sets, not just one. And in the previous year,
For you to be saying just.
in the previous year, that was even just one set. They had, I think it was 17 or 19 PJs. I'm not sure.
Wow. Okay, so I get why you're saying just for two sets put together.
For two, imagine putting
35th and 36th convocation.
and then they're having just 11. So I think the performance dropped.
I get. That's really nice of you to really follow your goal and then keep up. Yeah, I think my viewers will learn a lot from that. Next up, I think I'll ask about your challenges, because it's not easy. I feel like somebody of your status, somebody who came to where you are, should have challenges. Did you face any challenge? If you did, how were you able to move it, push it out, and keep on going and facing your goal?
Okay, of course, there would always be challenges. There's no time the road would ever be so smooth. Yeah, there were times when I did not have the grades I wanted to have, and I felt, oh, this was going to affect me and
From
my
your first class.
CGPA and all of that. I remember in my first year, most of my GS courses, the exams, I would write the exams, it would be very simple, but then the results would come out and I'll be seeing a D or a C. I remember I had an E in like one of them, and it was really very, very destabilizing. I cried and cried and cried, but then I still just had to move past it. So yeah, there were challenges, and in my year 4 I became involved in other things aside academics. So I had lots of positions I was holding, so I just had to look for a balance between all of this.
That's what everyone should do. Look for a balance between your life, your work life, your school life, your personal life, your church life. A balance will just make everything nice. I want to ask about your relationship. The way most students will see, like, if you are into a relationship, it has more negative impact than positive impact. So I don't know if you were in any throughout your life.
If you're saying relationship, what kind of various relationships? You mean relationship with God?
Obviously not relationship
with your friend.
No. Are you trying to dodge the question?
What kind of relationship?
Like romantic relationship.
Oh no.
Did you have a boyfriend and stuff? Would you tell us?
Heaven is my ultimate goal.
Wow. So are you telling us now that you did not have, so that's why you graduated with first class, or it did not affect you negatively?
Oh, okay. So for one, I don't believe having a relationship has anything to do with your academic performance, because even if I wasn't in any, at least for my first 4 years in the university, it was in my final year, I said, okay, maybe let me try.
You became a bad girl.
No, I did not join the world. I'm still in Christ Jesus. But then I don't feel it affects anything, because I had friends that were doing well in their academics and also had they were in other relationships, and it did not stop them. So I just feel everything has to everything boils down to self-discipline. So you know what you want, you know that this is a goal you want to achieve, and then you have to create boundaries sometimes.
Yeah, true. Boundaries. They emphasize on it recently, like, a lot. We need to have boundaries in our life and everything. So you did not have a relationship?
No.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So presently, do you have relationship? I mean, you are still going to the world. Were you the best in your internship year or not?
Which best?
I don't know. Well, how will I know if it's affecting you?
Graduating intern or what?
I don't know how if it's affecting you negatively. I want to know if right now you have, or,
do I have boy?
Or
have you seen me any man?
Me, I don't know. Am I you?
Please, my life is in Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Jesus is my husband.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So, at this point, do you have any advice or any stuff you want to tell the viewers? Like, what would people, any advice for people that are watching this, so that they may have goals and push just to like keep up to your goals and stuff?
Okay, so I think academic excellence is something that a lot of people see as a very difficult thing to achieve. There's a lot about school na scam, all of that. I heard all of these things, So, but I still believe that there are many people that came from poor backgrounds, but then with their education, they've been able to change their stories. So we should always try to look out on the positive. A lot of times we're more fixed on how many people graduated and did not have jobs, but then there's still other people that have been able to make their families' lives better through their education. And even if you don't get rich, education is just very important. You may not be a pathway to you being rich, but then it adds to your total being. So I feel if you're somebody that wants to go that path, the path of academic excellence, just to have your goals and try to set up strategies to achieve those goals, and be disciplined while at it, because a lot of students want to have A's, a lot of students want to have good grades, but they're not ready to put in the work.
True,
so it's one thing to aspire
want to have something and then actually work for it.
It's one thing to aspire to perspire, but another thing to work for it. So you have to find out what works for you, because there are a lot of issues that students face. So I used to go to night class a lot, and then in night class you see a lot of people in night class doing different things. Some came to read, some came to play, some came to touch breast,
to sleep. Some came to sleep.
Some came to do things in the dark. So you just have to know what you want from all of these things. Yeah. So I just feel have strategies, discover yourself. So know what works for you. If this works for you, if this works for the other person, doesn't mean it would also work for you. So yeah, and then managing your time properly, because that's usually the cocoa of everything in school. So there are a lot of activities. There's church, there's this, there's that.
There's always party, a lot of stuff.
Centered around academics, because that was even the mistake I made. In my first 3 years, my life was just all about my book, church, hostel. But then now I've come to realize that there are other things to life. I got to learn that in my 4th year when I was almost done. So it was just my 4th and 5th year that I had time to do other things. And I found that they did not even affect me academically. I still even had good grades.
Nice.
In my 5th year, I had 5.0 from my 4th year to my 5th year. My 4th year, second semester, my 5th year, first semester, second semester. And then
5.0.
And then I was even more involved in a lot of things. So I just feel it's good to try other things while still trying to maintain good grades. Yeah, so that's the
nice.
And then hold God, because there's also the God factor.
Heaven is the goal. Yeah, of course, because heaven was your goal, right? So heaven is the goal.
Yeah, there's some things that you cannot just explain. There's some things you cannot just explain with your own human understanding. A lot of things could go wrong. Sometimes it's not about you reading to pass and writing well. A lot of things could go wrong. Your script could go missing. Something can just happen that was not even your fault.
I get it.
So I just feel it's also important to put God at the center of everything. Just believe that, I've done my part, and now it's God's time for Him to perfect the rest. So,
so have a wonderful life with Jesus, because you need it.
Yes, preacher. Hallelujah.
So thank you very much. It was a really wonderful time having you over here.
Thank you.
So yeah, guys, you've heard the BGS, the best graduating students. So if you want to achieve that, you know what to do. Take all her tips, stick to it, and who knows, you may be a BGS someday. So thank you very much for sticking my video up to this point. Don't forget to like, share, comment on this video, and of course subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Bye.